I mean, we can get him to 0 cards already. That's kinda insane. Just don't care about Liliana. I'm sorry. Also, he needs to use all the mana if he wants to get this. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here. Today we are playing Dimir with Disinformation Campaign, or rather, its equivalent in the current standard, Invasion of Amonkhet. We draw cards, our opponent discards cards, together with Liliana. Like, it gets their cards very quickly. And what is this? Rankle's prank. It gets their cards even better. And normally you can get it back with, you know, the original Disinformation Campaign. So how can we get around that part that is missing here? Geistwave. This is the card that gives you extra cards if you get permanent that is yours to your hand. That means if you get it back, you get actually insane card advantage. So you can just keep bouncing, discarding your opponent's cards, and with this deck you can discard multiple cards from your opponent. So you know when they have 2 or 3 cards, you get them to 0 with this one. So it's super cool deck, very enjoyable, and I hope you will have a lot of fun. So let's go into games. If you aren't subscribed, like maybe this is the day to do it. It supports the channel. It says, wow, that's a good thing to do. Anyway, have fun guys and enjoy the video. Alright guys, we played the land, our opponent played Ironcrag. We are on the draw of course, but we will try to fight. We will try to fight. We might be forced to use Geistwave on whatever 4-drop he's playing. Fortunately we have a Negate, that's huge. That was his full tempo big play. Alright. That means we have a shot. I think with Dissipate and lands, we just need to go a little bit further into the counter spell game. I would honestly love to counter it. I really want. You know what? I'm countering it. He really likes to ramp, and I'm definitely not allowing him to ramp. He has this. It's 3/4, right? 3/4. So it doesn't fully kill Liliana. It doesn't fully kill Liliana, and that's huge. I'm not sure what we are discarding. No, I don't want to go for Geistwave. It's such a cool card, man. But the other cards are just simply better. At least for this situation. Alright, this didn't hurt him at all, but we'll make sure that the next ones will. And he cannot really go for the Reach Surveil. Didn't he get Surveil? Alright, so he's attacking, but that's not a good plan. That's definitely not a good plan. I don't think I need Virtue of Persistence, to be absolutely honest. I mean, we can get him to 0 cards already. That's kinda insane. Oh, I mean... Oh boy. So we could go for the Field of Ruin. And then what? Then he has a card. But we have a Negate. So it's not all the worst, right? I mean, Liliana isn't bad. The problem is that he will play this last card, probably. It could be super powerful. So I honestly think we, just don't care about Liliana. I'm sorry. Also, he needs to use all the mana if he wants to get this value. And every guy's who... Yeah, I told you, the last card is usually pretty important. Alright, and he would... No, this is a tap land, but he would do it in 2 turns. But there's no way of knowing. If he drew untapped land, he would play a Tally, and that would absolutely change the whole game. So no, that was a worthwhile try. Now we can go Field of Ruin into something. Yeah, I think so. We can counter a creature, so we probably go with a Tally. If they go for the activation, of course... Oh, they know! They know! This ensures that our planeswalkers are here for a longer time. Alright. We take blue because we need a lot of blue for Jace. And I think we give him 1 top deck. Man, every time I give them 1 draw to win the game, I regret it so much. Go for the Fraud. They have creatures, but we have Deadly Cover-Up. I think we can get better stuff in this. And this is the 1 turn, the 1 draw. The absolute 1 draw. I have 10 cards, but I still think I will try to mill this guy. Let's go. Land, Zendikar. So he would be dead if we didn't mill this. Let's see what he drew from the top. 1 card. Alright. Guys, he didn't top deck anything. That is half of his deck, but also a horrible top deck late game. Alright, so we are absolutely fine here. We are absolutely fine here. Let's keep drawing cards. We should be an extremely winning spot right now. Alright. Alright. He needs to sacrifice counters, right? Loyalty counters. Oh, that won't be easy for him. I cannot counter a Tali, so I'm not playing Djinn, because it's only Earther Resurrected. And he doesn't have Caverns. Alright, I will do it indeed. I probably should check the mode, but I assume he made the right decision. Alright, Dissipate. And I guess this is okay. We probably will discard it at some point. I still need a Landman. Alright, so we plus, potentially drawing 3 cards later, and we just keep up the counter spells. Our opponent has nothing, so I'm pretty sure we can lock him out of the game very quickly. I could go for Mirrex, but I don't need to close the game. I just need to draw lands and make sure that, you know, my plays are good. Okay, that should be game-winning play. Guys, man, I will have so many cards, but it's so tempting. This is the strategy. We could also go for Jace, to be honest, and it would probably be better, but not as much fun. Alright, let's torture our opponent a little bit more. And we are milling, so he's close to being fully milled. And he had only 1 card, so he couldn't use this. Alright, do we go for this? No, we keep up the counter spell. It's not worth anything else. Alright, and we say go. As expected. Like, the other thing can bring a Tali, sorry, so it's not bad. And whatever he draws, we just can counter it. I mean, sure. He can play additional land this turn, so that's a little bit scary, but I think we can make it through. I'm not playing super aggressive because I'm really having fun right now. And we are up. Okay, this is a good draw. So do I want to draw 3 cards? I mean, sure. Why not? Oh, they have cards. They absolutely have cards. But what they do not expect is a Djinn with 11 power out of nowhere. And we'll probably get rid of Swamp. Oh, 2 cards. 2 cards. Alright. So be it. Alright, so 2 turn clock, that should be fine. We have so much removal that the creature doesn't matter. He drew it! See? He drew it. Let's go with Dissipate first. Our opponent knows how to draw cards in a full top deck mode, but that won't be enough. When you lock them out of the game, they're out of the game. So, yeah, we attack. It would be still 2 turn lethal, but we would keep the airtie, so if they hit another Atali, we would counter the second Atali. So we got their hand pretty nicely there. Alright, guys, this hand, alright. When I put 2 of them, I didn't really think it will go through so quickly, but I think we can make it work. With Invasion of Amonkhet, we have some, you know, leniency. Do I want to remove it? I want the empty board on the next turn, that's for sure. Like, that's kinda important here. Not a tap. I really hoped for a tap land, man. Let's roll the dice. Do they have no more lies? Honestly, 90% of games they have it, but this time they didn't. We both milled our win con, it seems. They milled Realmbreaker and Negate, extremely good cards. We milled Jace, which is also a really good card. So he milled 2, we milled 1, but they probably play more, so I wouldn't be like super crazy excited for this one. Alright, so we have 1 card in the hand. Let's see if we can make it 2. That's kinda scary. A tap land. We have Field of Ruin. So they didn't have a counter spell last turn, right? Unless they keep it. Like, they didn't... If they had no more lies, I think they would use it. I risk it. I might really regret it, but I think it's calculated risk. I think it's worth it. Overall. They might have a hard counter spell, but there's nothing we can do about it. Yep, they have the best counter spell for this situation. But I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do? Oh, they forgot there are battles here when they printed this one. Alright, that's awkward. I'm taking it. Definitely one of the cards we want to see. Contrary to our full hand, like those cards don't. If I went to 0 cards, it would be like 0 difference. So definitely not on the strong part, on the strong draw right now. All right. So they don't have Normalize unless they drew it in 1 or 2 last turns. I have Go for the Fraud, so I can keep Field of Ruin, and this might look like a mistake, so maybe they will attack. That would be great for us. Alright. We're getting this sweet card advantage, slowly but surely. No Memory Deluge in the graveyard, unfortunately. And more removal. Alright, I see how it is. I see how it is. If I play this, they might counter it. That's the only upside, and this is the only play I have, man. This is literally the only play I have right now. They can just attack with Reef, but I think for damage and those 4 cards shouldn't super matter. And we might fish for interaction. That's okay. That's the best I could hope for, because this has basically no targets. And if they go with Reef, they tap heavily, which generally it won't matter unless I draw the correct card for the matchup. So let's see. Well, half of those cards were insanely good. And I drew the one card that doesn't matter. Oh man, we are losing on drawing cards so hard right now. It's funny because like he thinks he's winning because he's playing around our win con. What he doesn't realize is that it's not our win con. We are just bluffing, and he's using the best cards for his matchup for a bluff. But it still won't matter if I don't draw this. I drew it. That changes the whole game. That changes the whole game. I think they would use Voidrant first. So I think they might have had the counter spell when they Voidrant the first Virtue. Because it's harder to use for this matchup. So they wanted to get rid of it. That means they shouldn't have a counter spell, I think. If they tap, we play it. If they don't play anything, we force them to tap at least on their turn. End step play. We have counter spells, but we need to draw them. Alright. I mean, this is it. We need to draw a counter spell. Alright, we are taking 2 cards that are not lands. That was super important. If we whiffed here, we would die. Alright, if he's only going with this, that's not a great game plan. And right now we can play Liliana and we can force their... Okay. One Jace can change it. Another land, not perfect. Really goes through. And finally, man, I love Liliana. She can absolutely get rid of all the bad cards we have. I should probably go with the March, to be absolutely honest. Against Reef, it's way better, but we have Field of Ruin, so it shouldn't matter. I wish this could target permanent. But we can save Liliana at least, so there's something. Alright, let's solve this one problem while we can. It eases our mana for the future turns. And also improves our draws a little bit. Alright. Whew! You know what? I think we went through the phase of the game that is absolutely horrendous. And right now we are in a decent spot. I think now we are okay. And honestly, right now March is better because it can hit Jace. And Jace is probably how he wants to win. Let's surveil. It should be useful. It's generally not the biggest card for the matchup, but I think we can make it useful. If we split the mana in half, casting Jace will be even harder. Liliana. Alright. Let's see what you have in stock for me. A 1-drop. A true Heroes of Standard. 1-drops with a lot of stats to kill your opponent quickly. And is this good? I can see it being good. It will die, but it might do something before it does. And it also slows opponents a little bit. That's a rock. I think it's called Dwayne. I actually loved it, man. Like, I'll give Wizards this. That was super funny. Alright, let's go for removal. So our opponent is kinda prepared with his go for the throat, I would guess. And we need to kinda play around it. Don't trespass me. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's huge. That's actually huge. We will definitely pay life here. That's worth it. That's worth it. We got really nice tempo here. And our opponent has a 1-drop right now, which means he has nothing. And we are going through with our big spells and big creatures. Really, bro? That's literally the worst thing to counter ever. Outplayed. I mean, he outplayed me super hard, but this is what man, and I'm playing exactly into what he wants to do. The question is it Edict? Or is it a creature removal? Because if I play Jace and he doesn't remove him, I can get rid of it permanently, basically. Then I can go for the throat his next drop. I mean, I kinda like it. And on the next turn we can play Djinn together with Dissipate. Or go for the throat. I think it's worth it, man. Worst case we still disable it. Just don't Edict me, bro. It's always the card they need. Man, I just name the card and they every single time just have it. It's fine, Sloth. It's fine. The Phyrexian insect isn't real. It cannot hurt you. Except it can. Sure. Go for it, my champion. Ah, you didn't expect this one. Well, it would be such a shame if something killed this and my creature was 2-4. So as you can see, like, we're outplaying the guy as hard as it is possible. I think we are fine with it. One point, like, I don't think it's even poison deck, man. I think they just use it for some reason. We don't have double blue. That means we go Memory Deluge. We just try to tank a little bit of damage and go from there. And this cut down was super risky. I don't really understand why they went for this play unless... I guess they didn't have anything else. I guess we go with Deadly Cover-Up. Let's... Oh man, if I play this I can play anything else, but I think it's fine. Yep. That's actually really good. So I can get all the value. Oh man, that's actually all the value. Alright, that is a good Memory Deluge. I'm still mad with the Edict. Don't let it fool you, I'm still super mad inside. Alright, we take it back, we save it. We're a protector of the genes, and we play the big stuff. 1, 2, think. We should always evidence something, probably. 1, 2, 3. And I have no idea what, but I will get rid of something. They have this as a graveyard value. I could go with Edict. I could go with Edict, to be honest. Let's go with Edict. Please, no more Edicts in the whole game. Of course, that was the only one they have in the whole deck. That was single Planeswalker removal they had in the whole deck. This is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean. It's fine. Oh, I'm so mad right now. The saltiest of salts. We can kill it, of course, and we probably will. Alright, let's go. Gets the stuff. And to be honest, yeah, we definitely go like this. Go, my little Djinn. You need to make a lot of work. And you can always go Dissipate, right? Nobody has one card right now, so they cannot activate the thing. Do they know about it? They can play this and then activate it. I will definitely go for it. Yes, because we will use Liliana to kill this. That also pumps the Djinn, right? So it's good for us. Go for it. Perfect. And then we start attacking with the Reef. Go to being a Lantern, right? He's fully tapped so he can use the Founder, which is good for us. And let's start. They can activate Founder to kill Liliana, which honestly is probably their best play. Easy. I guess we counter it. I mean, we keep pumping the Djinn. And if they go for... the lifelink might be a small problem, we'll see. Alright, they're going for display. They are going for display. So, I think we go with Memory Deluge, to be honest. It's good enough, I think. Alright, and probably this. Into March, because we have a lot of mana. So I can bounce it when they will try to attack us. I don't think Liliana +1 makes sense. We could also bounce our Liliana, but then they get the attack and I don't really want it. If we do this, we get extra value. And it might be meaningful. Like that's a lot of damage. If he had one card, we would discard it, but you know, we don't have it. We don't have it. Easy from the top. Removal of our main win condition. Yep, definitely in response some Dream Thief. Alright, good job. So we just go with this guy. And we try to kill them. I mean, he's dead, right? That was way harder than it should be. I'll be honest, that was way harder than it should be. But we did it. And this is kinda acceptable because we have a good draw in this regard. However, we are fully on the counter spells, which means that we cannot answer the next play. That means 3 cards are useless, we need to play this, we need to top deck a land, and then go with Deadly Cover-Up, or he needs to miss this one turn. To be fair, and this is not the worst, he will take Dissipate, because that's the only card from the whole hand that we can play. Oh, good drawing skills on my part. We played 2 negates to not draw one of them, even early game, and especially not 2 of them. I will actually play this to not show my opponent. If you play this, he knows entire hand that you have. If you play another land, this could be any card, so they will never know exactly what you have. And suddenly they need to play around everything. They already got the Mirrex on the play, so they can be aggressive. On the draw they wouldn't be able to, because they would be too slow. We just play Memory Deluge, this kind of stuff. On the play, it actually snowballs quite nicely. Alright, next stage of the game. Okay, I drew the card that wins me the game. I don't need the losing life. Alright. This seems to be purely creature deck, so I'm going with double negate. And I drew the card. What can I say? I'm just good. So this will be a creature, but he will go through with it, and that means we need to find another answer, probably. Yeah, like, unless he had 2 bad cards, he should have at least 1 creature here. But we'll see, we'll see. If he passes the turn, we can go with Memory Deluge plan. Alright, going for those big creatures. I honestly really want to play this. With Deadly Cover-Up, I think we can. Because I need a land, man. I desperately need a land. I cannot be more behind than I'm already, I already am. He probably should main phase this. He would get counters. Alright, let's see if he drew a removal right now. Generally he shouldn't. We still have a counter spell. He knows about it, but let's see. Mirrex, yeah. So he will keep pumping those creatures and then we deadly cover up. The question is, can we stack enough card advantage so we can close the game after it? We can also try to raise him pretty nicely. Yes, he realized what's the situation and he will start pumping those creatures, which is fine for us. Alright, we play Memory Deluge. It will be weaker, but still good enough. I mean, we will go with one Field of Ruin, maybe? It doesn't really matter when they already drew two, right? I'll still take it. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But I won't prioritize it. He still cannot attack on this turn. I could be attacking for a lot of damage. A lot of damage, actually. You know what? I think this is good enough. And if I play Field of Ruin, I can still Dissipate, which is huge. Alright, this is a winning play. This is the winning play. Because I will be... That was a spell, or a bluff. And I'm milling myself, bro. That will make my Djinn way stronger, probably. And by way, I mean 1 extra damage. But yeah, my opponent needs to kill me. Like, he's dead in 2 turns. And that's the turn 1. And we have a counter spell because we have Djinn. And Djinn is extremely good card overall, even outside of mono blue. Like, this 1 mana discount every turn on every spell is just insane. So I just need to keep up removal out of my creatures. Did you draw it? Right now he just needs... creature will also do it, but we can Dissipate it. So whatever he drew... 2 cards drawn? Man, 100% just every removal he dreams of. Alright, let's see if he drew 2 of them. Man, if he did, that would be insane. Alright. Man, we had to fight for this one. Alright guys, we'll try to make it brief because, you know, it's Dimir. It can take ages, so I need to be strict on this one. So, let's start with the discard. The discard plan is seemingly working very nicely. The critical point is always when you get the last card, because this is not targeted discard like Duress or Pilfer, this kind of stuff. Your opponent chooses the card. So, the first ones matter the least. The final card is always how you get them. Suddenly they're in full top deck mode and they're at the mercy of Shuffler, and we know that Shuffler has no mercy. So other than this, we have a lot of control in this deck. Negates, Dissipates, and even one hidden airtie, because this can counter abilities, activated abilities, triggered abilities, that will catch things that normal counter spells won't. And it also gives you a lot of tempo. On top of it, it forces your opponent to draw a card. So if you have Liliana in the board or some kind of discard, you can just get rid of the card, or Invasion of Amonkhet. It's a perfect target. If your opponent has 0 cards, you destroy something, they draw a card, you play this, and they have 0 cards, and you get the full value. So basically, Airtie is insanely good in this kind of deck. Still, we need to play a lot of removal. Go here to your spot. Like, Prank is a soft sweeper, kinda, but the cover-up is, of course, the main one. We don't go for Path of Perils because we have quite decent early game. You can always use Geistwave defensively, so man, I just bite my tongue. Anyway, you can use it defensively like a Fading Hope. Of course, you don't get the Scry, and it's kind of more expensive, so generally you don't want to use it, but if you are in a pitch, it's still okay. You know, bouncing Godric can, you know, completely change the game, especially that you have Liliana, so sometimes it gives you, you know, a nice target on the token, for example, from Wedding Announcement or something, then you play Liliana and you remove the real creature with the sacrifice effect, and it kind of works as a removal very often. Don't forget, you can Geistwave not only Invasion of Amonkhet, you can also Geistwave Airtie Resurrected for extra counter spells, Jace, so you can play it, -4 it, and on the next turn you can just get it back, draw a card and replay it. That actually makes a huge difference because Jace is your big win con along with Djinn and Mirrex. So one of those cards needs to get them. Sometimes you have Virtue of Persistence, you have seen that it is a scary card for your opponent, but we don't really play too many creatures. We have 3. So maybe you can make it work, but generally it's not your main win con. It's more of an emergency or, just some good upside for playing extra removal. And we still want Virtue of Persistence and March because we need some life gain. In current standards, it's hard to play without a single life gain, and this really stabilizes you, especially March because you can just go super hard. Especially that with Invasion of Amonkhet, Geistwave, Memory Deluge, Jace, you have generally a lot of cards, so you can just keep curving out up to 10, 11 mana sometimes. It's a good deal. So yeah, we still play kinda control-ish version with a lot of removal counters plus Memory Deluge, and the interesting addition is this Djinn, right? I kinda wanted to test it, and I'll be honest guys, it was amazing. One of the reasons for this is, look at this. Those are the cards that get the maximum value. Imagine a 3-drop that gives you 50% discount on every card you play. It would be pretty broken, let's be honest. This kinda does it to all the 2-drops. And you play it usually for 4 mana. That allows you to play an extra spell that normally you wouldn't be able to. If they play Shrouded against your Djinn, you just play 1 mana, go for the throat, and your next turn is absolutely insane. Even though Memory gets discounted, so you get less cards, you still get 2 of them. So it's not a big deal, and it allows you to flashback faster, and it also lets you unload your hand very, very quickly. Clear the full board, counter whatever they play. Suddenly in 1-2 turns you can absolutely stabilize everything, and just start casting those Memory Deluges for, card advantage. So I honestly like the deck. It's a little bit dice rolly, so you need to be careful. For example, if you are on the draw against aggro decks and you draw only Negates and Dissipates, you are in a bad spot. We only play 4 of those, so it shouldn't happen. But there are a lot of situations when you need a specific card. You might have noticed that in the game, sometimes I was just praying, please, don't let them draw a card or let me draw a card. Rankle sprung in the perfect situation. It literally won the game on the spot. It destroyed their whole board, discarded their whole hand nearly, and it didn't cost me anything because I had cards like Negate. Also, one of the good parts, all of the discard except Invasion is symmetrical. That means you can keep trading basically your bad cards for the matchup for their good cards for the matchup, or at least the average ones. So yeah, also don't forget you have this extraction effect, and even if they don't play their Jace, that is a win con, you can always play yours, and mill 15 cards, and I guarantee that there's a fair chance one of the Jace will get milled, and then every deadly cover-up can decide the game fully because you extract their win con. So I really enjoyed this. Bouncing Invasion of Amonkhet is one of the most fun things you can do with Dimir. Oh, the Disinformation Campaign. I was playing with those cards so much you wouldn't believe. This was my favorite card basically, along the Azorius version that drew you cards and life gain. I kept doing this stuff over and over. I had so much fun. Whenever I get my opponent to 0 cards while I have 5, it just tickles, my heart in the right way. So I hope it will be the same for you. As you can see, even trying to be on point, it took me forever for a Dimir deck. That's a constant on this channel, but I think you will enjoy it. It's just exciting deck for me. I wanted to go completely different deck today, and I just had this idea, and it was like, yeah, we are doing it. We are doing it. So if you appreciate it, share the video, like and subscribe, because it all, helps with the YouTube algorithm, just recommends to more new people so the channel can grow. And yeah, that's probably the biggest thing you can do for the channel. So thank you for that. If you did those things, if you just watched, it's also amazing. So thank you for that as well. And yeah, I hope you had a great fun, and see you tomorrow. With